What is up, YouTube? Welcome back, my fellow duelists, to another video here at the Duel Links Task Force. Unfortunately, guys, Mike could not be here to help with this discussion. I usually like to have him a part of it because it makes the entertainments a little bit more argumentative. So, anyway, in today's video, we will be talking about if Book of Moon is going to get hit, if it's going to get limited, banned, semi-limited. I've got several different arguments on this, guys. First off, the reason why I believe it could potentially be limited, I don't believe it'll be downright banned, but I do believe it's going to get hit. Now, let me explain why. Because whenever a card, even despite how good the card is, if it's overused, Konami loves just nerfing them. And right now, just based off looking at it, there are 4 top tier decks that is using Book of Moon, and one of them is a tier 1 Noble Knights deck. Now, it also, when used, it can harm at least, let me make sure I get this right. I know at least 2 decks in the top tier that it can neutralize, and one of them being Noble Knights. Now, the reason why is because Noble Knights relies on the spell cards, basically. So, say I just XYZ summoned using Merlin to bring out my 5-star. Now, once all them spells reattach to him, all they have to do is Book of Moon on their turn. Canadia is different. It may have the same effect as Canadia, but Canadia has to wait an entire turn, which gives you an entire turn to neutralize it, or they can't just destroy you right then and there. Book of Moon, however, is a spell card that allows them to turn you face down instantly on their turn. So that will instantly destroy all your spells, and then they can just go straight for the OTK. Getting rid of one monster, guys, as you know, when you're facing against other top tiers, it's pretty much an OTK game. Whoever gets the better hand, whoever goes second, first, whatever, it's basically comes down to an OTK game. So once you're sitting there, you are one monster face down instantly. You're probably going to get destroyed, guys. You're not going to have any spells, probably no back rows, nothing to really help you. Now, another deck it can neutralize is the Despacito. The reason why is because Despacito's ability enables that when a face up dark machine monster is destroyed, you will be able to special summon Despacito. If they turn that monster face down and destroy him, even if they attack him and he turns face up, it's not going to count it. It's not going to work, so you're not going to be able to bring him out. So that's 2 top tier decks it automatically neutralizes. Now, the reason why I am concerned that it would be hit is because you got cards like Gold Sarcophagus. All that does is allow you to banish one card, and 2 turns later, you can add it to your hand. Granted, some decks like Metaphys, it helps phenomenally, but it's not a out there card. Like, all it was is being used too much, and they nerfed it. It's not nothing insane. Like, Magician's Navigation, that's a good trap card. Now, it barely got limited. But you got Hey Suna, that's a decent card, but is it end all be all? Not necessarily. It gets rid of the back rows, but if you ain't got nothing to take care of what monsters are already out on the field, like say you're 3 blue eyes deep, they may get rid of your back row, but you know, they still gotta find a way to outmaneuver 3 blue eyes. You know what I mean? So it's a good card, but it's not the end all be all. Treacherous Trap is a good card that got limited, so it by rights has its place, but I can't remember its exact name, but it's that magician card that you used to use that would be Dark Magician while out on the field. It can special summon with a quick effect and bring back a Dark Magicians if it meets certain requirements. It'll bring one back from the grave. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a good card, but I mainly used it to help in a crisis whenever I summoned it out, to give me some kind of line of defense. But all these cards have been hit. Now, Do they have the reasons? Yes. Grass is greener is strictly forbidden. You can't play grass is greener no more. And it was a good card. Certain decks it would take to the teetotal top, but if you're running a 30 card deck and you don't hit one of them three, your whole plan just went to hell. So it's a good card, but to completely forbidden it is a little much. That's why I'm concerned for Book of Moon, is everybody's running it. Like I said, 4 top tier decks have Book of Moon in it. But the reason why I don't think it'll get banned too hard or even at all was it was only in a selection box. But that's not to say that it won't stop them. If you guys remember, Neo's Fusion was an amazing card, but people were using it ridiculously. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't use it either, but they were using it in everything, guys. So they ended up releasing it as part of an event just so they could ban it. Like, so they're not above doing what they need to hit a card, which is why I'm concerned for Book of Moon. Now, it may only be in a selection box right now, which is the only thing probably keeping it safe, but that does not mean that they won't take it out of only the selection box and then ban it. So it's not untouchable. I know a lot of people have spent a ridiculous amount of money getting that card. I personally do not have the card. It is a great card, but it is not like the end-all be-all card. You know what I mean? Like, it works great in mirror matches for Noble Knights. It works great in against Despacito, but I haven't really found that it's a end-all be-all card. Like, for Blue Eyes, for instance, it may turn one of them face down, but if they ain't even got on a roll yet, and you turn down a wrong card or activate it against their Synchro monster, and then he just brings out a different Synchro monster, it just wasted it. So I'm not saying it's a bad card by no means. It's a good card, but it's like Canadia but in a spell form, and it allows you to play it at the same turn that you plan on shooting in on them. So it's a very good card, but they have found ways to ban cards that shouldn't have been banned. Like, Neo should have never been able to be touched. But unfortunately, they knew that they had to do something with it, so they brought it out in an event when it was part of an EX deck. It should have never been able to been banned. But sorry about that, guys. I had to get a sip of drink. But they can still hit it, guys. It can still be hurt. And with people playing it in so many different decks, like 4 different top tier decks is being played with it. Now, does that mean that they will hit it? Not really. But if it's with the KC Cup, they will see just how much people are using it. And that could get it potentially banned. Now, I'm not saying, when I say banned, guys, I mean nerfed. Like, it doesn't mean like it's going to be strictly forbidden. It could be limited. It could be semi-limited. You know, so there's no way to really tell. They could just simply put a 3-strike on it, and you can run 3 of them, but you can't really run much else with it. Or they may just make it you can run 2 of them. I don't know. But to say that I do not believe it's going to get banned at all would just be a lie, because I believe something's going to happen to it. Just like I believe they're gonna find a way to do something about our Noble Knights, guys. Like, they don't like no deck being just untouchable, and Noble Knights is an amazing deck. It's not untouchable by no means. I still get beat by other things. I can get beat by off the wall things, depending on how they play or if they go first, or if I get karma cutted on turn 2. You know, I may get stuck with turn 2, and there's turn 1 they done laid their karma cut, and they karma cut me, then you're screwed. It's not an untouchable deck, but I believe that the Book of Moon really nullifies the Noble Knights. So they may let it stay because it nullifies the Noble Knights, and they need something to interfere with that tier 1 deck. But then again, with 4 different top tier decks running it all against each other, they could hit Noble Knights as well as Book of Moon all at once. I don't know. But I do believe something's going to happen to it. And I say that because I'm worried about the people who spent an enormous amount of money on it, or the people who's going to spend an enormous amount of money on it. And I don't want them to not expect it. Let's put it that way, because I believe something's going to happen to it. And if you are one of the people who have bought it, I mean, I hope nothing happens to it, because that is a very expensive card. Like, I've seen how much money goes into it. It is a very expensive card, and I would feel really bad for you guys. Now, I did not choose to buy it because, like I said, it's expensive and it's got a good effect, but it ain't like... Now, if they'd released something like Neos Fusion that just went into every deck as an amazing engine, then I'd have to probably go for it. But other than that, like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad card, not hating on it one bit. If you guys who like it, it's a good card, enjoy it, but be prepared for something to happen to this card, guys, because I do believe it's going to get hit, and I believe it's going to be very soon, like after the KC Cup, which ends, I think, tomorrow. They'll be doing the end of it, so be ready for that, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.